I'm gonna teach you how to cook the perfect steak every single time. And it's actually much easier than you think. You don't need Mercury to line up in retrograde. You need one thing. And that one thing, a thermometer. That's it. There's tons of thermometers on the market. This is an instant read pen type probe. You stab it in and within a couple of seconds, it tells you what the temperature is. There's wireless ones. They're a little dongle. They plug into your meat. You can walk away and you can cook it that way. At the end of the day, they all do the same thing. They all read a temperature. But a lot of people don't know what the actual temperatures for things actually are. So they wing it and then they wonder why their steak is overcooked or undercooked, or their chicken is dry or undercooked. The big one with chicken especially is people overcook it because they're worried about getting sick by undercooking it. But if you had a thermometer and cooked it to 74 degrees Celsius, you'd never have a problem. You'd never have dry chicken and you'd never get sick. But people overcomplicate it because they don't realize they can just go and buy a $20 thermometer. They see those really expensive $300 to $400 ones and think, well, I'm not going to spend that much just to make sure my steak's cooked properly. But you don't actually need to. Most modern pellet grills or barbecues nowadays have a thermometer or a probe built into their barbecue that you can just put straight into your meat like this, and it'll cook and it'll tell you the temperature while it's cooking. So for some use cases, you don't actually need your probe while you're using your barbecue because your barbecue already has one. So for this juicy little T-bone that I've got here, I'm going to be aiming for 50 degrees Celsius. That's going to take me right just below that medium point so I can let it rest and then sear it to finish it right at medium. So now that my steak is up to the temp that I'm looking for, we're sitting pretty much right around 50 degrees Celsius, which is where I like it. And now that it's at that 50 degree temperature, that's where I like to let it rest. This way I know I'm not gonna go over medium. And all I'm gonna do now is wrap this in some foil and get my flat top heated up. By the time that's heated up, this thing's had plenty of time to rest to let those juices all sort of redistribute. Then I can sear it and then I'm ready to eat. So that's all there really is to cooking a perfectly cooked steak. That's it. Now don't forget that people's definition of a perfectly cooked steak is different for each person. Everyone likes their steaks cooked a little bit differently. And that's okay. We like what we like. But to me, that's a perfectly cooked steak. So you really don't need anything more than a thermometer and knowing what temperature you want to cook your steak to. Yum. So what do you need? A thermometer. That's it. Catch you at the next one.